Hi guys, it's Jenny. Today I want to tell you a story from my past that kind of, to me, illustrates embarrassing situations or cringeworthy situations to an INFP. Because I fully understand this would not be a big deal to pretty much anybody but me, maybe, and other INFPs. So it's a bit of a weird one. Why is it embarrassing? Why do I still cringe when I think about it? But I do. All right. So hopefully this will be a short one. I keep saying this, but it never happens. Anyway, okay, to set the scene. This was 5 years ago because it was around my 30th birthday and I just turned 35. So for my 30th birthday, we had some friends over and we went out to dinner together. So before we left for dinner, we were just having a few drinks at our house in London before we headed off and walked to a restaurant. So it was 3 couples, so me and my husband and then 2 other couples. And the guys in the couples that had come over both had worked with my husband, so that's how we all knew each other. So I was hanging out with the ladies and somehow recycling came up. I don't know. It just did. And I was just expressing how satisfying I find recycling and how much I enjoy it. So not in a judgmental way, I'm a really good person because I recycle, but legitimately, it could be inferior TE, just getting a little stroke there by organizing the recycling and putting it in the right place. I don't know, I just found it satisfying. I'm sure other people find it satisfying too. It's like the sorting, but then you've sorted it and then it gets taken away, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to keep an eye on this. You've sorted it and it's all done. It's gone. Someone else is going to deal with the recycling. So I was just talking about that and how much I really enjoyed it. And one of the other ladies was talking about how because they were in an apartment building and it was a shared recycle bin, so kind of limited space, that one of the guys in her building, whenever someone moves into the building, he gives them a little rundown on how to minimize the amount of space that your recycling takes up in the shared recycle bin. So, how to deflate a milk carton to get all the air out and flatten it, that kind of thing, to take up the least amount of space. So we were talking about recycling, is what I'm saying. That was a topic of conversation. And I expressed how much I enjoyed it. Yeah. Okay, then fast forward to a few months later for my husband's 30th birthday, and they were over again. It was a larger gathering because he has more friends than me. So there were more people there this time, and at the end of the evening, so this time we had a barbecue in our backyard because it was June then and it's proper summer, so the weather was good enough to eat outside, whereas in April in London, the weather generally isn't good enough to have a barbecue in your garden. Yeah, so instead we went to a restaurant for my birthday. For his birthday, we had a barbecue in our back garden. So at the end, when everybody was getting ready to come in from the garden and go home, one of the ladies that had been at my 30th, her husband came to me with some beer bottles and said, what should I do with these? And I was caught unawares because, I'm very socially awkward. It's been a very long night of constant conversation and I'm exhausted at this point. And I just in my, sometimes when I'm nervous, or not nervous, just socially exhausted or nervous and feeling shy, whatever, things just sort of splutter out of my mouth and they don't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. So I'm assuming I had done this because I thought I'd communicated oh, hey, just leave them next to the bin and I'll deal with it. But I think what I'd said was, because he was suggesting putting them in the bin, I guess I didn't want to make him feel bad if he wanted to put them in the bin, and I didn't want to put him out. So I'm just like, oh, just leave them. Like, whatever is fine. Whatever is fine. Just leave them there. And then his wife comes up and sees him putting them into the bin, not the recycle bin. And she says to him, oh, are you sure about that? Have you checked with Jen? Is it okay for you to put those in there? And me, I had seen him start to put it in the bin, and I realized that he'd misunderstood me, because I didn't mean put it in the regular bin. I just meant, I'll just put it beside the bin. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it, kind of thing. And he said to his wife, no, I've checked with Jen. She said put them in here. I didn't say that, you see. But anyway, that's what he heard. And again, I've probably spluttered some nonsensical verbal diarrhea of awkwardness, and that's what he's taken away from it. So I've then, I don't want him to get in trouble with his wife for not, hearing me incorrectly. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I said that was fine. Because I've got all this recycling back here, and it's more than will fit in the bin, so it's fine, just put it in there. And that is the end of the story. And his wife said, oh, okay, I just thought he better check, because I didn't want him to put them where you didn't want them. So to anyone else, story's over, whatever, beer bottles are in the bin. When they left, I fished them out of the bin and put them in the recycle bin. And for the record, I have no judgment if you recycle or you don't recycle. Like I said, I legitimately enjoy recycling and the process, and it's just something that I've always done. So if you don't recycle, that's cool. And I wasn't judging him for putting them in my bin. That was fine. It's up to me if I want to pull them out again. Also, when you live in a large city, sometimes you have more trash than will fit in your bins. And sometimes you'll be sharing a bin with other households. We in particular had this problem when we were living just outside of Frankfurt in Germany. That was the worst trash situation I've ever had. So, sorry, it's not even just a passion for recycling. It's that you do have to be more mindful of which bin you put things in, because you'll run out of space. And obviously, smelly trash takes priority in the regular bin, but you can't put those things in the recycle bin. So you know what I mean? Better to put what you can in the recycle bin to save space for the things that can only go in the regular bin. So that's why I was and because I've got a family of 5 with 3 kids, so they can produce a lot of trash sometimes. And so you have to be more mindful when you've got kids too, because you don't want trash clogging up the house. And we had a cat with a litter box, there's lots of things going on. So anyway, this still haunts me, and I still can physically and emotionally feel the shame and embarrassment of that interaction with that husband and wife very, very strongly, and I'm still really embarrassed by it, even though logically I know I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. They forgot it the moment that they left, possibly. Or maybe the wife didn't. Maybe the wife... Okay, so why does it embarrass me so? It's because I had authentically represented myself as someone who enjoys and takes pride in her recycling. As stupid as it might sound, okay? And not in a lording it over everyone. It was just something that I shared, a little piece of myself to these women that I didn't know that well, that hey, I like to recycle. How about you? It was just a bonding moment over the stupid recycling. And then 2 months later, I get caught being inauthentic because actually I really don't care about the recycling. Or that's how I assume that she saw it, that I don't care about recycling and I just like made it up. Or I'm like just really fickle and I've just like given up 2 months after making a big deal out of it. So it feels really humiliating to me. And it's multi-layered because it's my own fault for not communicating clearly to him, but like to her husband, that I just wanted him to leave. Like, I could have physically taken the bottles from him, but I didn't, because that would be like invading someone else's personal space or like overstepping. It was a very uniquely INFP situation of awkward. So I just thought that if you're not an INFP, it might be interesting to you. And if you are an INFP, maybe you can relate to why that would be so embarrassing. Yeah. All right, so that is my story for today. I think it was short. Oh my God, am I recording? I am recording. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.